That was a good drive. The sky was blue. A perfect blue. Fuck, I hate that movie. I think there comes a time in a man's life when he really needs to know whether something is bad or based.
Hello?
Max, we need to do a batter based on Satoshi Kon.
When?
Now! We're doing it now!
Yeah, just send me the location.
At my fucking house. Where else? I think you're fucking outside my house right now.
Yep, thanks. Bye. Fuck.
Let's fucking rock. We're back with more Professor Anime no Jutsu. We're doing another batter based, this time with my arch nemesis Satoshi Kon. What's your experience with Satoshi Kon, Max?
I've watched Perfect Blue. It was okay.
I watched Perfect Blue and I fucking hate it, and I watched it multiple times and I still hate it, but I'm hoping to learn something. I've seen Millennium Actress, which I remember being like, eh. I watched Paprika, which I remember being like, eh, but that was like 10 years ago, I don't know what the fuck. And then I watched Memories in the theaters, and then when I figured out he wrote the first segment, I was like, that's why it fucking sucks. Because I'm like, this guy's a fucking idiot. So, but I don't know. Maybe we'll learn something. I've never seen Tokyo Godfathers. I've never seen Paranoia Agent. I've never seen World Apartment Horror, which is something I hadn't heard of until this morning. We were planning this out. And this is based on a story he wrote, and it's a live action comedy horror movie. It's the one live action Satoshi Kon related thing, and that's what we're gonna start this out.
Fuck
and
yeah.
We're gonna watch everything he's ever worked on, written. Well, yeah, okay, not animated, because he like fucking animated a bunch of bullshit. Like, who cares? We're only doing like the real shit. So yeah, World Apartment Horror, then his JoJo shit, and whatever. We're gonna figure it out, and then we're gonna see if he's in fact bad
Or based.
So true. Tune in.
Hello!
Hi.
We're watching JoJo.
Yeah. Satoshi Kon did episode 12, the original 1993 JoJo thing. Yeah, and this is how he got the job on Perfect Blue, because people liked what he did here, apparently.
Yay! Which means we get to watch some Iraqi writing.
Yeah.
And some JoJo.
Yeah.
Satoshi Kon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. He's innocent! He's innocent!
Skadoosh.
Skadoosh. We just watched the episode that Satoshi Kon did of JoJo, which is episode 12 of the original OVA series, and it was pretty cool. And it was a Perfect Blue job, and you can see a lot of crossover in the animation styles. I think he fucking storyboarded it, he wrote it, did animation shit on it, and the opening was, like you were saying, was weird.
Yeah, it was like ancient history with the stone mask, a naked woman being sacrificed, and then we just jump right in the middle of like the senator shit. So that's where that starts and goes. Yeah.
In the interest of Satoshi Kon on tourism, you see a crossover with World fucking Ends Hair. What was the first movie called? The World Hotel Horror. World Apartment Horror.
Yeah.
And because you see multiculturalism, there's a lot of different races of people around on the street.
Well, there's... Yeah, I guess...
Is that just from JoJo, though?
Yeah.
Like okay.
Yeah, so they're in Egypt. It's always a United States senator, and that's really the only difference.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So that makes sense. And then the senator goes insane, because I think in every single Satoshi Kon movie, there is a character that goes insane beyond thing. But that's probably in the manga too, right?
Yeah.
But listen, this is Satoshi Kon tourism. He was the assistant director and he screen wrote it, so I'm not crazy. Kakyoin in the water tower looked really cool. That was awesome, and I could see why he got the Perfect Blue job off this, because
it's like Perfect Blue.
It's not like fucking Perfect Blue. Also, he likes time. He likes time, playing with time. That's probably gonna come up later, I think, because I know in Perfect Blue it does.
Does he play with time in Perfect Blue?
Well, yeah, because it's like non-linear and shit.
Oh, yeah. Hello!
Hi.
Here we are watching Memories by Satoshi Kon.
Yeah, first segment only, Magnetic Rose. I saw this in theaters a bit ago, and as soon as I figured it was written by him, I was like, oh, that's why it's fucking stupid. But maybe we'll learn something.
Maybe, and it's only 20 minutes.
Something like that, yeah.
Wow!
I didn't know it was dubbed in English either, so I saw it subbed the first time, so this is new.
And there's a cactus.
Memories don't live like people do.
Memories! Hello!
Hi.
We watched Memories.
Yeah, Magnetic Rose, and I still don't like it.
It was interesting.
No, and I had more fun watching it than I remember. Like them just exploring the thing and the idea of like spacemen and this like ornate place and like the way that she glitches out and stuff. It's cool. I think like visually and like animation. I mean, the animation also when they're first approaching the space station and all the debris. It's really fucking cool. But I just
boring.
It's kind of boring, and the writing it just really grates on me because what's the message? It's that if here you have the girl, I mean the woman who lost her husband, and then the guy who lost his daughter, and it's just like she went nuts and was like trying to keep them in, I guess, right? That's the thing. It's like her consciousness was in the robot. I think.
You got more than me, although you've seen it before. But I'm just like, they approached the spaceship, and there was an old girl on it that is dead.
Yeah. And
her memories are playing, and now she wants to abduct people.
It's just like it just makes me feel gross because like watching this, I don't see how anyone could see like. I feel like your goal with a story like this should try to be to speak to people with trauma, and everything in this is just a fucking, it just sucks, and there's just nothing to go with it. And the way the woman, the opera singer character, feels really gross. Like you never feel for her, and then she's just the villain, and then they blow her up, and she dies, and he's like, you can't keep living in the past. And it's like, yeah, okay, like, sure.
Are the other parts of that movie completely unrelated to that?
Yes, yeah, totally. Like, it's not a continuous story, yeah.
That fucking sucks, then.
I know, like, I don't know, I just don't get, what's he doing here? Like, it's just, how do you have these things, and, like, you're just speaking of these kind of weird abstract concepts, like, oh, memory. Also, it pisses me off, her memories are so unspecific. Like, they're just these very generic, like, lovey things, like the idea of her not singing because of her husband and stuff like that. There's interesting ideas there, but the way it actually cuts through your memory, it's like nothing feels specific. I like the part where the daughter got the spacesuit and stuff that felt specific, but then again, it all leads to this just bummer thing, and I'm just like, Satoshi Kon, who are you talking to here? Who are you talking to? This is just fucking, this just hurts, and I don't get much from it. And you're just kind of speaking to these abstract things broadly and then making it really tragic so we have to take it seriously. And I'm like, I kind of just feel sick to me. I don't know. Hello, everybody. Today we're doing, we're on Perfect Blue Lecture Series 1. This is Satoshi Kon going off about this fucking movie that we hate. And this was after we watched
Memories,
yeah, Magnetic Rose. Yeah, which we didn't get to do the my robot wife, my opera robot wife, because I got cut off in the last video. But it was really funny when we did it, so trust us. Yeah, so we're doing this because we watched Perfect Blue like last year, but we want some more context. So maybe Satoshi Kon will say something here that will rivet us to our core.
My robot wife.
Let's get riveted.
Hello.
The Perfect Blue Lecture Series is one of the funniest things we've witnessed in our entire life.
Yes.
It's insane. How did you describe it, Max?
It's like homie had to do a book report on his own book that he wrote, and then instead of actually reading his own book, he just like watched the movie on 10 times speed 5 minutes before the class started. Like he went for the most surface level things, like it's unbelievable. He's just like, he sees the Mimo, or whatever her name is, watching the fucking killer at the end of the movie, and he's like, and she's staring at him through glass, which symbolizes a filter, because she's not looking at the real...
She has an objective view.
what are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's insane. And then they break down the rape scene in the movie, and he's just being really creepy. And the interviewer's like, yeah, this is making me really uncomfortable. He's like, yeah, this is fucked up.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, they had fun drawing this. What are you doing? What are you doing? And he's like, yeah, we put this in because we wanted people to watch the movie. And it's like,
and then he also said, whoops, that was almost sexual harassment.
yes, 3 times he says that. Like, how is this okay? This has like a 4 point something. This short has a 4 point something on Letterboxd.
I'm contributing to that, to be fair.
I know.
I gave it a 4.
I just can't believe this is like okay. Like, bro comes on, says nothing. It's so funny. Okay, so we did watch the abridged 40-minute version instead of like 2-hour version. So maybe we're missing something. But like, bro literally says nothing of substance. There's like a 5-minute diatribe where he just starts talking about a scene in Requiem for a Dream that's a reference to this movie, and then he just starts going into Requiem for a Dream lore, and then how he flew on a plane with Jennifer Connelly once with no point. Like, what are you doing?
And also, oh fuck, I had a funny point now I can't even remember.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. I'll think. I have it in my mind.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's fucking hilarious. It is
It's
like
really
the funniest thing that he has ever made, and I think ever made.
Yeah.
I want to think of that point I was gonna say.
Well, because we trace it back because I was talking about how the sexual harassment thing.
It was after that, I think.
Yeah, and then the Requiem for a Dream thing, flying on a plane with Jennifer Connelly. He like starts explaining Requiem for a Dream lore for some reason. Darren Aronofsky.
Oh yeah, the whole thing just had like a vibe, like the tension between him and the interviewer.
Yeah.
Had like a vibe of what I imagine the fucking Nathan For You show feels like.
Yes, it
But
actually does.
It had none of like the fucking like, oh, this is supposed to be a comedy.
Yeah.
So it just felt like he was doing a Nathan For You bit.
Yes, literally, like he's the most like awkward dude, and like I like we were saying earlier, I kind of almost like think he's endearing in how just dumb he is in this, but like, man, what are you doing, bro? But it is interesting about how Perfect Blue was supposed to be an OVA. No, I can't do this again. I can't do this again. I can't. It was supposed to be an OVA, and that makes a lot of sense. I think there's a lot of things that go through it that feel OVA coded, but it just makes it all just feel like weird.
It reminds me of somebody I know in person.
Yeah.
And I can say a hint that will make you get it.
Yeah.
And not give it away.
Yeah.
He reminds me of someone who could not afford $5 to go on a school field trip.
Yeah.
Just the way that he speaks.
And the way he like doesn't
shit.
emote and like
Yeah.
And it's just fucking weird, man. Like, I don't know how the fuck Perfect Blue was like this huge thing. Because I was just talking with, I guess I'll probably get into this after we watch Perfect Blue again. But like, I was just talking with someone about John Cassavetes' Opening Night and how like that's a movie that puts you in the perspective of a woman in a performative role and makes you understand the stresses of these roles and how she ends up kind of breaking this facade and all the elements of it, but it brings you with her. But nothing in this movie makes you with her, and that the way Satoshi Kon talks about it makes a lot of sense because he's always talking about her as a concept, as we have many personas in our life. Oh my god, the Power Rangers discourse.
Yeah, that's what I was about to bring up after this. Was he's like, I made these Power Rangers. Oh, and also look, they're RGB.
Yes, they're RGB, and here's the bug villain. If you think about it, the obsessive fan of the movie is like a bug in her life, and that's like the bug. It's like you're talking about these characters like they're literally not human. Like, and that's how you treat this whole thing.
His name is King Bug. I named him.
Oh my god, bro. And like he just goes on. He's like literally, it's like a 15-minute diatribe about the opening shot with the Power Rangers, and it's like, this is meaningless. This means fucking nothing. Yes, they wear masks. Where's the depth there? Like, who gives a fuck?
Comes from Latin. Personas.
Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. I can't. Like, how is this guy considered the best anime dude? What am I missing? What did he say here? Did he have some like secret code that everyone could unlock? I don't get it, bro.
He's the robot. He's the AI human.
He is literally fucking Alan Tudyk and I Am Robot. That is Satoshi Kon. Oh my god, well...
You can either be Alan Tudyk or Will Smith. You decide.
You decide. Oh.
This movie was a bunch of ass!
Okay, I did.
We are living in a post-perfect blue world.
Yeah.
What a fun movie.
I fucking hate that movie.
1 second.
Yes,
of
and
him.
watch the Antonioni. You cut from him to a rape scene, back to him, back to woman screaming.
No, I think we need to reshoot it. I don't think we have everything.
What? Come on. You know they call me Mr. Fix-It.
Actual assault scene is I like the way when it stops, there's kind of awkward things. That's interesting, but it doesn't have to go there because Satoshi Kon did not have good reasons for going there.
You know they call me Mr. Fix-It.
It doesn't need to go there twice in great detail. The second one, why does that even happen? That's fucked up.
There's no reason for the second one. Also, the way they deal with Mr. Me Mania, I always go, oh yeah, that's his last thing he does, is he rapes her and then you just see a shot of him dead later on.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, I guess.
That was his legacy.
That was his character arc. He went from stalker to rapist. And that's it. But also, I will say with the second rape scene, sorry, I have to clarify, or maybe it was the fourth. I don't know if there's only, I think there's only two.
There is only two. I thought there was more before, but there's
the
only
second
two.
rape scene with Mr. Me Mania there, something clicked for me, and it was that I thought that he didn't rape her the first time, and then it was just she was filming a rape scene for the show, but where the show had wrapped up, I'm like, oh, okay, so the cameras are what are fake, that's why he's still dead.
Yeah.
But why would you do that? I understand, that's fine to do on its own if you had a better reason around it, and where you kind of just are like, he's walking in this hallway, now he's raping me, and now he's dead. And there's never you never even really see his motivation other than just the fake person's posting about her life, I guess. But then the fake person kills what would be her biggest asset. So it doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah. I
still like them. I'm still whatever, this movie's harmless.
I think it's gross. I think it's fucking dehumanizing. I think this is a gross movie. That's the thing. I like in the first half, you kind of actually do feel for Mima. In the second half, you just don't know what the fuck's going on. Because the way it plays your things, the way it does, 8 fucking transitions where it's she's up. Was that a dream? Was that real? It's this is what are we doing, a fucking magic trick here?
If I could go back and watch the movie again, which I'm not going to do, I would look every time she wakes up to see how many fish she has. Because I'm like, is she in her own room? Who knows?
It's just, who cares? This is not the heart of the story. The heart of the story should be Mima's character. And by the end of the movie, we know less about Mima than anything else in the movie. Yeah. And that's the movie's biggest flaw.
Is she an idol again? Is she an actress?
And that's the thing. The interviewer in the lecture series was like, was she a killer? I wasn't sure. And it's that's not how you encourage understanding for these things. Yes, okay, you can make a movie about patriarchy, the gays, all that stuff. As in gays, as in eyes, not gay people. But
the male gaze.
The male gaze. And that's valuable. And there's stuff in this movie that is interesting in how it articulates those things. But it doesn't ever bring out the humanity of the characters. When you have a character like Rumi look like a fucking chameleon reptile and then just be this evil character that is trying to destroy the main character, maybe she's doing that because of patriarchy and stuff, but when you're not showing that she is actually a nuanced person and is instead some weird, manipulative, insane person, literally beyond relatability, in a mental asylum, insane person, that's gross.
But I also don't like that every single character in this movie that is bad is the reptile. There's not one character that was good that was a reptile. Because her manager, that's not Rumi, but the person above Rumi, he wasn't a reptile. Mm-hmm. He was the closest thing to being a fucked up guy because he's oh cool, I got her another fucking thing where she gets sexy.
But he also has that scene in the car after the first rape scene where he's want to go get dinner? That was actually a nice thing we were to do.
But then Rumi, reptile, fucking weird stalker man, reptile, the sexy photographer, reptile.
Yep. The guys at the show, reptile.
That's the only one that I'm but he's black. They made him black, and I'm that's
great.
A choice,
that's
I guess.
Great. Thank you for the creative Roll Department Horror, which Roll Department Horror is a surprisingly progressive movie, and to do that, I want to do that.
the only ones that were dicks that were not reptiles were the 3 guys that were like, she's no longer going to be a pop idol.
Yeah.
And they weren't even outwardly dicks. They were talking to each other. They never actually did anything to hurt anybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole point is that they're like part of the system that is perpetuating these expectations that are fucking with fucking Mima, and it's like
maybe, but they never even shows them telling anyone about this, like what they're doing.
Well, it's
like
just
their own in group. They're just kind of like a stand-in for every single one of her fans. I guess.
So that's kind of the point. And like, I get it. I get what it's saying. I just think there are ways to do this that showcase empathy and understanding, and this movie's presentation is antithetical to that. And I don't understand how it's held up as this like pinnacle of anime as art thing when it's kind of a gross movie. Like if you look at the actual techniques it's using and the way it makes you feel about these things, it's kind of fucked up. And the lecture series confirms that Satoshi Kon is not thinking about these things in a way that's human. He's thinking about it in a way that is symbolic and abstract.
I also
not
really hate the last 2 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Because it's like, she does this thing where she's like, I'm never going to see Rumi again. And I have to come to peace, I have to come to terms with that. And then she goes and sits in her car and she goes, this is the real me. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure.
And well, and Kona's like, you see, this shows that she can grow and become a full person and stuff. And it's like, I don't feel that. I really don't feel that in the end. And that smile she makes does not feel like a sincere, like, uplift.
You know nothing about her post, like, the end of the fucking thing. It's just like, she had this horrible traumatic experience.
Yeah.
Now she's happy. What the fuck did she do?
Yeah, what did she do? How is she gonna get better from this? Or her manager, who was like one of the few people she could actually trust in her life, turned out to be the person orchestrating this whole thing, and you have to see her almost die twice. Also, the funniest trucker accident almost scene ever, because bro had like 50 feet to stop, and he was just not. He was just going for it.
And also, like, fucking, if you cut the end of the movie off, like, post woman's in the fucking mental institution, and you got the Power Rangers, I'm fine with Power Rangers, but if you just make the fucking, here's where she's waking up over and over and over and over again, do that 2 or 3 times, maybe, at most, and just make it so that when you're watching her film the fucking soap opera, that it's not like baby food, like here comes the airplane, is she gonna be raped in real life to you? Then I'm okay with the movie. Because like, those are the 2 biggest fucking issues I have, where it's like, you're trying to make a psychological thriller, go ahead, whatever, it's fine to do that, that's a fine media to exist. If you're gonna do that, you don't go, here's the baby food, she's being raped in the show, she's being raped in real life because we showed you the show, so now you know. And it's like, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
Why do you have to spoon feed? Don't spoon feed me.
Yeah, well, like the things where it's like the dialogue of the show is reflecting the reality and stuff, and the thing where it's like, oh, she's a killer with multiple personalities, things. It's like, why are you playing games? You're literally just playing games at this point. This does not contribute to the overarching thoughts of the movie. You know, it's like a distancing effect.
He tried to make it a fake out where you're supposed to expect Mima to be the killer.
Yeah,
but like. One, I feel like the pizza guy wouldn't have been like, oh, you're a weird pizza delivery guy. Like, right, he would have like, fucking words. Mima. But, like, instead, it's like, fuck, Mima's not the killer. Or maybe some people don't know. But, like, when you're watching her interact, there was no setup for her having multiple personalities other than the ghost Mima, which isn't ever really resolved. The ghost still, like, defies all logic. She effortlessly follows Mima down a building, and then it shows you in a reflection that the fat woman is running. How the fuck did she get down the building?
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense, man.
Yeah, it's just a rough movie.
But it's still fun. Like, I enjoy it. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, well, this thing, I forgot, I like Mima in this movie a lot. I feel for her. That's why I'm sad that she's stuck in this bullshit movie.
And then at the end, it just, like, all emotion towards Mima goes away.
Yeah, but because again, there's like a billion distancing effects, so now you're not with this person.
If I could change one thing about the whole movie, as much as I complain about like the wake up, here's the fucking TV, rape, TV, real, whatever.
Yeah.
It's if you cut that ending off, and right when the truck has a million years to stop, if you don't kill the fucking guy, and you just have the guy drive the truck again,
Yeah.
and smash into Rumi, because he's like, fucking, there's Mima, because he's just as delusional. He sees her in this dress, and then just end it there. Just be like, Rumi Rumi does whatever. Rumi's dead. This bitch does not deserve to be like, I'm Mima in the mental hospital for the rest of my life. And then you just ruin actual Mima by showing her going to visit Rumi and just having like no human emotion. She's just this fucking like android beast that is just like, I'm the real me. Okay, sure.
I don't know, man. I don't.
Don't interview with a woman in front of college students and make her feel unhappy. Don't make weird sexual advances towards her. Don't talk to her about how you wanted to put the rape scene in the movie because you wanted people to pay attention. That's a bad reason to put a rape scene in something.
Yeah.
Like,
he doesn't even mention the second one.
Like, if I'm, like, watching Labyrinth, and then I'm just like, oh, there's the rape scene, I guess I have to pay attention now. That's not... There's no Labyrinth rape scene, but that would be a bad reason. You don't need to rape someone to get their attention.
That's the lesson of Perfect Blue. So go watch John Cassavetes' opening night. That's the better version of this movie that is about a woman in a performative role trying to get to grips with her purpose and identity, but in a way that actually makes you empathize and care for this character and then understand the systemic problems surrounding her rather than turning it into fucking Chinese finger puzzles.
And after you watch opening night, go watch Satoshi Kon's interview about Perfect Blue and then watch Perfect Blue. You fucking say how much you still like Perfect Blue and how you think it's deep. Because it is not deep. He himself is like, he goes, the window is a filter. She's looking through the window because it's a filter. Dressing rooms famously don't have mirrors. There's only a mirror in this dressing room because it's a reflection of herself. And she's trying to figure out if she's this ghoul.
Yeah.
A mirror can be a mirror.
A mirror can just be a mirror.
I fucking love you, Satoshi Kon.
Well, next up we got Millennium Actors.
But you know they call me Mr. Fix-It.
Wow.
Millennium Actress.
We're back. I don't know. It could be good. It's the
Could be good.
I watched it like 10 years ago, and I remember thinking I was like, it's okay. I didn't really get it, but like it's okay. So who knows?
Yeah.
We didn't watch anything in prep for this because all the interviews and stuff were kind of boring and long. So
this is immediately after Perfect Blue.
yes, immediately. No time stop
Yep.
between then.
I sat down, we watched Perfect Blue, we got up, and we're watching this now.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Funny joke.
I was hoping this was the turning point.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, who knows? Maybe, but
Well,
yeah.
next up is Paranoia Agent.
Yeah, after this.
So it literally might just be like fucking banger.
It might be bangers because, yeah, it's funny to say we really like Tokyo Godfathers. That was awesome and so unexpected. For a movie to be this lively, this full of characters with actually like rich, complex emotions, and how tight it is. How it doesn't reuse techniques. Like the one time you get the dream fake out is used to great effect in this, as opposed to in both Millennium Actors and Perfect Blue, just being used ad nauseum for no reason. Like in here, it's so perfect. It's such a genius transition to show the younger woman's thing. There's just like there's no fat on this movie, and everything. It reminds me of like what I like in like Suzume, which you haven't seen, right?
No.
Okay, well like it does this thing where it's just like. The world just keeps growing outwards. You get all these little characters all with their own lives and stuff, and it just it never undersells anyone except for Sayako, the fake mom. That was the one beat I wasn't crazy about in the movie, where she's like hysterical trying to breastfeed the baby and then trying to jump off the building so many times. I was like, okay, we're starting to move into the Satoshi Kon. Let's write a character to just be fucking insane and outside relatability, which I don't like. But she even has like yes, there's more justification behind her, and it works.
The reason why I don't mind that,
Yeah.
in opposed to like Perfect Blue, where the character has no redeeming qualities, is that in the end, the fucking husband speaking to her, like that wouldn't have happened in the other movie because that's like outside of her being insane. Like it broke through to her, and she snapped out of it.
Well, but no, she didn't. That was what kind of pissed me off. Is like he spoke to her, and she's like,
Oh, I'm still gonna kill myself anyway. And then it took like right after that for the baby fucking looking at me like, yo, let's go home. Let's just go home. And they're like, is it okay, baby? Okay, baby, I'll listen to you. But damn, who would be that funny? That like, oh my god, the character of the transgender
woman.
It's just that's fucking amazing and beautiful, and that's like a really, that's progressive for a movie from like 2003, and it's just so, and every character has like so many layers, and the way that it includes like the kind of typical Satoshi Kon like what's real, what's fake thing, because like with the way that the main guy lies and stuff, like you're still questioning things. But it's used in a human way.
And also, like, the dialogue in this isn't just flat. Like,
yes, it's so fucking lively. That's the thing, like, everything in this movie, and, like, how quick the fucking, like, and the quips aren't cheap, like the quips in Millennium Actress with the cameraman.
Yeah.
The quips here all feel tied to their characters, and are all so warm and faster, and it's like, oh, damn, he fucking broke through. Like, he made something really, really good here, and I'm like, I had no idea he had this in him. I really had no idea.
No, he stuck the landing.
Yeah, 100%.
I cannot believe it. I was ready just to be like, bad,
Yeah,
bad. But now I'm just like, he has one gem.
He's got at least one gem.
I think this is like the thing people talk about. It's the one I had heard the least about before.
Same, yeah, no, 100%.
Other than memories, but that doesn't really.
Yeah, well, again, and so World Apartment Horror doesn't count either. But again, also it's cool to tie this to World Apartment Horror because I think the best qualities in that come back in this, both including, investigating people in a lower class stature, which is interesting because Perfect Blue and Millennium Actress are both people in like the top echelon of society, and
he sucks it.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. But then World Apartment Horror in this, you have these people who are misunderstood and like in these lower echelons, finding ways to exist through community and stuff, and it's like, that is not what I would associate with Satoshi Kon from anything else he's done. So it's like, fucking a miracle. This movie's really a miracle, and I love it, and I will show this to people. I will make a fucking AMV with this. I'm all for it. Which is like, I was telling Max, I was like, I got fucking like 2 or 3 AMVs out of our Memorial Hosted watch. I was like, I'm gonna get none of this. I can't use any of this shit for anything. But this is one I would be happily to do that with because, it's so funny. It's so like it's felt. And oh god, I love it.
Like there's no fat. Like I guess you were saying that already, but like it doesn't like show you anything needless ever. Yeah. And also like if anything, it kind of leaves you wanting more.
Yes, yeah, because I kind of want to know what happens with her and her family. But like the fact you can imagine that, I'm fine sitting with that.
Yeah.
Like, just having that moment, I'm like, cool, yeah.
Instead of getting like the moment with the main girl, I can't remember her name right now, and her father.
Yeah.
You just get like there's my father.
Oh shit,
and then that's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And like you kind of get it through context clues anyway that he's not actually trying to arrest her like he thinks.
Oh,
I won't spoil it, but like you see that he just wants to have his child back.
Yes, no, and that's beautiful, and the fact that like their fight scene like that just blows my mind because the way when she throws the scarf at him and is like, I made this for you, you don't even care. It's so great because it's like she is kind of being like clearly like spoiled, but yet her problems are not invalidated. Yeah. But like and using the scarf as a symbol. Like I said, that's the symbol where it's like, oh, it's a symbol, but it actually has ties to direct character life like that. Yeah. Yeah. And which is like nothing else in any of his other movies. You can talk about the keys at the start of this movie, like you compare this any of the objects of this to the key in Millennium Actress. Key in Millennium Actress is just so fucking like, oh, she saw a guy once. And it's like everything in this movie is tied to family, responsibility, purpose, like the things that actually matter in life, as opposed to the stuff in Millennium Actress and Perfect Blue, which are just tied to much more abstract things that I don't think are as good character motivators. So,
did he write? He wrote this, right?
Yeah, but actually no, wait a minute. He had the same writer. That's the thing. He doesn't write. He doesn't have writing credits on his movies, but people still say he wrote them anyways. I don't know the thing, but I know he had the same writer on Perfect Blue and Millennium Actress, but not on this. This was a new guy, and this is the guy who worked on Cowboy Bebop, and this guy, he was the right guy. He was the right guy. He worked on something. I think he I think he worked on World Apartment Horror too, actually. This guy. So, whoever the fuck that guy is, that's our goat. That's our goat right there. He can save Satoshi Kon. Yeah. And by God, I hope he works on Paranoia Agent or Paprika or Good Morning, maybe even, because that's the minute short. Yeah. But, wow.
I cannot believe that. That's...
Yeah.
Go watch this movie.
Yeah. And the dub is beautiful. The English dub is beautiful. Way fucking better than the Millennium Actress dub. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Like almost all the main actors in this only did this or like 2 other things.
Yeah.
But it sounds like Todd Haberkorn, and it turns out it's a woman. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. She's incredible. Everyone just does pulls the fuck up. Does an amazing job. The soundscape's beautiful. The animation is so beautiful. Yeah. So we vibe with Tokyo Godfather.
We vibe with Satoshi Kon.
Yeah.
He got an S. Now it's just bads.
Yeah, well, we don't know. We don't know because that was what we predicted. But yeah, there's a random redemption arc in the middle of the fucking thing. Who would have thought? Yeah, damn.
We will find out if this is his second breath or his dying whimper.
Boom. Paranoia Agent we got next. Also, I was doing some reading about Tokyo Godfathers last night. And the screenwriter, yes, was the same person from World Apartment Horror, and Satoshi Kon even says in interviews, he's like, I'm fucking shit at writing characters, and she knows how to write characters really good, so we work together, and I'm like, that is fucking awesome, so I'm glad that she was there. She was not involved in any of his other movies, so yeah, we're basically fucked from this point out. And also, Satoshi Kon himself insisted on being the reference footage for Hannah, the transgender character, which is insane.
Hell yeah.
I cannot imagine him doing that because he's just like, yeah, we made the movie and yeah, there was the symbols. So it's like, what? He was going like, like what? How did he do that?
How could this man do this?
We need to find the footage. We need to find the reference footage that he shot because that's crazy.
Maybe it exists.
Who knows? Maybe it'll be in Paranoia Agent. Oh wait, actually, wait. For the context, real quick before we turn it off. He said that this show was made based off unused ideas from his movies, and he wanted somewhere to get them out, so he thought a TV show would be good. So that's all we know.
Go.
We just finished Paranoia Agent, and that was really fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's like one of the best. Well, I mean, I'd say one of the best things he did, but really, there's only 2 things that we watched. I mean, there's 3, but.
Well, technically, yeah.
The last 2 things have been just like. So refreshing.
So good. So very good. But yeah, and I was talking earlier, it's like Tokyo Godfathers I love so much, but it doesn't feel quite like the culmination of those stuff. It feels like kind of a diversion that just happens to be really good. This feels like the culmination of everything I could see potential with in his early stuff that I really don't like, but then done in a good way. There's an episode of this that is literally just Millennium Actress, but good. Like
episode 5 or whatever.
Yeah,
where they're interrogating.
Yeah, where they're interrogating the guy, and it's just like you just took Millennium Actress and removed all the pretentious bullshit and made it 5 times shorter and just made it a really interesting, cool thing. And it's like, wow, you can do that, and that's why this show suits him so well because he's a fucking ideas guy and. Also, clearly collaborating with Koiko Nabemoto on Tokyo Godfathers, made him realize how he can write characters. Because the characters in this are really interesting and cool in a way none of his earlier ones are, I find.
And he does it so many times. There's fucking 20 characters in this show that are all just extremely flushed out and fun.
Yeah.
Maybe some of the side characters, the fucking fat nerd, but you don't really need to focus on that man.
Yeah, exactly, and I feel like it's proportional to the amount of screen time he has. Compared to Millennium Actress, where every character is just the movie is just them, and yet by the end we're I know nothing about these fuckers. Yeah, and most importantly, I think what he does in the show, this is why I brought up the Fujimoto one-shots, is because it reminds me a lot of Tatsuki Fujimoto's early one-shots where he's able to take these kind of high-concept fiction things and then make them funny and these very surprisingly real articulations of real complexes. The second episode of the show with the boy who thinks he's perfect and stuff, it's it's such a real thing,
Yeah.
like that stupid competitiveness and stuff like that, and he takes this kind of storytelling and uses it to like kind of exaggerate and play up these things that are very like universal and like people like feel these things, and it's like that's awesome. I love that type of shit.
Also,
where someone like loves storytelling.
With the second episode of the show, it kind of, for me at least, I don't know if it was planned or not, kind of
Yeah.
has a parallel to like the overarching theme of the show in the end, where it's like this boy that's just overly, not pessimistic to say, but like
Yeah.
an asshole.
Yeah.
And is like everything that's like, he's a lot of negative emotion, but he
Yeah.
presents positive outwardly.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's another boy that's like negative on the inside, but is like extremely, well, I mean, I guess you don't really see his internal monologue, but he's
Yeah.
extremely positive. So
Yeah.
it's just like these two forces that are both positive and negative.
Yeah.
And they kind of coexist in the same space. They're both running for the same position.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the show, you get this fucking similar
Yeah.
relationship between two things that I won't say what they are, but like the fucking, I guess whatever, it doesn't matter. You fucking watch this, who cares?
Yeah.
It's this little marrow dog and
Yeah.
fucking
And
the
little slugger himself.
boy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just so fucking, it's done so well.
Yeah.
And like even like his weird abstract like mental illness shit he likes to do and
Yeah.
everything is done 1,000 times better in this than it is in Perfect Blue, which is a movie I still find funny. But this was like emotional. Like, I felt emotional
Yes,
during this,
definitely.
which is something he literally was never able to achieve during Perfect Blue.
Yeah, and I think the way because him stretching himself like kind of so thin in this, where it's like all these episodes have all these high concept ideas, like you get like 1,000 characters and stuff. It actually serves him really well because again, he's such an ideas guy, he can only really base his storytelling off his ideas. And so by the end of the show, you kind of get this cumulative, really cool, nuanced picture of the reason why I pull out Rust Never Sleeps, because I think this show, to me, is most interestingly about nostalgia and stagnation and the way that people... like the way that like Tsukiko, she can't make this new character and she's just stuck in this one image, and I think that's the most interesting way you can think of Satoshi Kon's filmography is like all people struggling with reinvention and trying to revitalize themselves and stuff like that. And I think this is the most interesting articulation of that because he does it all these different ways and finds 1,000 different people and ways to do it in ways that are all interesting, all unique, and all like really fleshed out.
There's also just like a really cool theme of dissociation throughout this entire thing. There's like almost every character has some kind of dissociative problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, there's the main girl that couldn't make the new character and then started to use a character that she had made to blame everything on and disassociated all of her problems. And then like the multi-personality
literally, like the most literal one,
And then like the man that's like, well, me and my wife can't have a child, and then he gets taken to this world that is just
like that's his past, like literally like his memories as a kid, like when things cost less and all that stuff.
And it's so insane. And like when you're watching this, you were talking about a lot of like the inspirations that you just saw in like that wife episode where she was kind of over the thing. But I was kind of thinking about like the endings of the episodes. It's like this feels very. It's kind of weird to say. I haven't watched a lot of it, but it's very Twilight Zone-esque. Like, he just wants to tell a bunch of small like weird stories, much like that, and then have like the same kind of narration throughout, which is very. He did it very well.
Yeah, no, and actually, like, talking about the Twilight Zone influence, like I was thinking of like Richard Kelly, like with Donnie Darko and stuff like that. Like he is so influenced by Twilight Zone, and that gives me a similar vibe where it's like just finding like all these weird ways to tell these stories that all just kind of tie back to this thing in not the most literal ways, which is why I like this show the most, when it's just kind of sprawling itself out, and you're starting to make these connections that are not spelled out as literally as Kon would do with previous stuff. Also, I just want to say the influence I was talking about with it's Orson Welles. It's so interesting. Like it's really just two main things. Like when there's the rumor kind of like beyond the episode where it just focuses on rumors, but also just like in the framework where there's episodes like, oh, did you hear about Little Slug and stuff like that? That felt very Magnificent Ambersons to me. And then the shot where the detective's wife is like portrayed 10 times, stuff like that. That felt like exactly the Funhouse scene in Lady from Shanghai, which is like the fucking coolest thing ever. But yeah, like Kon just fucking like this is like the biggest redemption arc because it just shows that you can like make bullshit and then like learn things and like he actually like opened himself up and learned things and that's why I'm just so blown away. I wrote a little letterbox review for Tokyo Godfathers because I found this Substack article that explains how that movie happened and how Keiko Nobumoto, I hope I'm getting her name right, like actually like directly influenced him and how he was just like, oh yeah, I realized this was a failing in my art before and so I'm going to work with this person that understands it. And like even the way he does it, like him doing the fucking performance capture for Hana, it's like that's so out of character for him because he's such a like, oh God, I learned, I know this thing and all. Like he's just like he does not seem like that kind of expressive person at all. And he put himself out there to learn things.
It almost kind of feels like because like you were saying, he admitted he can't write couldn't write characters, and he kind of just got that through osmosis and working with this person. Yeah. And then this show with the main girl kind of just feels almost like that one aspect of it is almost like what he felt like, where it's just like so not like introverted, but like what's the word? It's like skittish. Almost like he just kind of felt like that. And then kind of learning to get better at this thing, and then he makes this, which is just, it's so good.
That's the thing. Well, like it's almost like that's what the show is about. The show is about someone who just did their one thing, and then I mean, after Perfect Blue and Millennium Actress, he was like insanely acclaimed, like really popular, and the fact that he made a choice to not stick with that formula that didn't work for me. Showed that he was able to suddenly open up his style to things that I now really fucking like and now respect him for. And so that's why, Rust never sleeps. That's why you have to keep pushing yourself forward because that's how you don't stagnate and can both grow your audience and also serve the audience you already have with cool shit like this. So you can have like things that are, he admits, are just kind of random little disconnected ideas he has and then bring them together in a way that's just really ingenious. I keep thinking about the episode that's literally just
the shorts,
the shorts is a great one, but the one that's the animation studio and it's just like explaining all these roles and it's like it all falls apart and stuff. Like I could just imagine that if you're working in the animation industry, that'd be the most cathartic episode of TV ever because, I mean, notoriously, the animation industry of Japan is so fucking cutthroat.
I just love to think about, like, the show director or the episode director for that, just being like, and here's the part where the episode director is murdered, and we give everything to our useless assistant, and then he gets murdered, and they take our finished product from our charred corpses and fucking air it.
And I like that must be what it feels like, and it's like that's so cool because again, that's also the specificity that I've been missing from his stuff. Because like I said, my problem with Perfect Blue is that whenever he was in the lecture series, was talking about the scenes he was putting in and stuff like that, it never felt like he was like, oh, this is something I know, and like, oh, I've lived this and stuff. But then in this series, it actually feels like he's putting in shit that is really intensely personal to him. And I'm like, oh, thank you for doing that, because I did not feel that personal connection. Like with Millennium Actress, it feels so impersonal to me. Like that feels like a movie where it's just like, here's a abstract, tragic love story, and we're gonna find ways to spin this using generic movie plots. And it's like, it's not, when you bring a new to the table there, you know? But like this is new.
And part of the thing that baffled me so much about this is that we were on a trajectory that made me think that this was going to be impossible. Yeah. Because we started out like on like a 60%, like it was good with World Apartment Horror. Yeah. And we just kept going down. Literally. And then Millennium Actress hit and I went, this man's gonna have nothing at all. And then then Tokyo Godfathers happened and I was fucking mind blown by that, and I was like, okay, everyone gets one. Yeah. And then this happened, and I went, like, what? Holy shit. Yeah. Like, I don't know what to think. Yeah. Like, he just fucking baffled me. If Paprika hits, then I don't know what to think. Like, it's like, then, like, the later half of his career is just, like, banger after banger.
We have our first, it's not bad or based, it's bad to based. Too bad to based.
And it's just like, because with Mamoru Hosoda, it was kind of like the opposite, where it's like he just had like these amazing things scattered throughout, and then just fucking smacked you in the face with Bell.
Yes, but and then again, I think we both agree that he's not bad. Like he didn't go based to bad. No. It was just he ended on a big misstep so far in his filmography that we were at.
Exactly, and it's just, I mean, at least with the more hosted, we have like the chance to kind of continue and see where this goes on because he's currently directing something else.
Yeah.
But with
Satoshi
Kon, RIP. At first I was like, hey, prostate cancer, thank you. But now I'm like, you might have taken it. Like, if Paprika cooks, you took him you took him too soon anyway. But fucking, you robbed us.
Well, it's like, I was thinking, watching the show, because we watch a lot of just like random, seasonal anime and stuff. I was thinking about how dynamic this show is. Like, by the end of the show, I didn't know what an episode would be. And it's like, I can't remember the last time I felt like that watching an anime. And so it's like, that's why I remember I was talking to guys online when I was hating on him. They're like, okay, you can hate on him, but like, this guy was really important for the anime in this show. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? But now I watch something like this, I'm like, fuck, if there was more guys like Satoshi Kon doing shit, it would be really good.
This could have easily fallen into a rut. The first 5 episodes, while they were really good, it was becoming like this serialized story.
Yeah, definitely.
And then he just hard right turns it, and while he keeps that like overarching plot, it never feels like it because he always does different things to fucking like feed you the plot. Like he has the whole episode where it's just about like rumors that people have heard, and they're clearly fake.
Yes, and then all these little short stories.
He retroactively fixes the biggest Satoshi Kon problem in that very episode.
What was that?
With the freaking out fucking manic person that does nothing.
Yeah.
You see like this normal woman who just keeps feeling bad because they're like, you're married to a fucking storyteller.
Yeah, why aren't you just starting stories? Yeah.
She goes home and her husband fell to the thing they were telling stories about.
Yeah.
And in the moment you see that she's like broken up about it and then immediately goes, describe it to me.
Describe it to me. Yeah, no, and that's a great like bit, and it doesn't undersell her character. Like again, like that feels like something Fujimoto would do, where it's like this exaggerated thing that just feels. Oh man, I forget how. I was listening to an interview with Matt Johnson where he's like something that feels. Surprising yet inevitable, and that's like great because like you're like it's surprising, but then you're like, oh fuck, that makes sense though, and that's something I feel like that doesn't happen much in his earlier work because you're kind of just like, ugh, you went there, like it doesn't feel right, but something about this, as you can tell with someone like is good at writing fiction because they do that, and so. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, I'm good. I have like 2 more points, but continue yours. For now.
I was just gonna say, well, one thing is. Thinking about Magnetic Rose, his memory short, it actually kind of touched on similar themes where it's like, oh, you can't get trapped in the past and stuff like that. But in that one, it just feels like kind of like, oh, fuck these characters for doing that. That's so gross that they got trapped in the past after their loved ones died. And it's like, well, why are you just demonizing them? Like, but this one gives so much more uplift from that. It's like, you can recover from this, even though the ending is a little, like it kind of is like, oh fuck, is this just cyclical and stuff, and people doesn't change. But I think I still felt like I'm like, oh, there's a redemption here, and you can move forward.
Part of the thing with the ending is that I think it shows that either can happen because it shows the girl and the reporter, which were like the 2 first people that kind of interacted and created this kind of.
This whole thing.
Feedback loop. Yeah. Like passing each other in the street and being like, oh hey, I know you, and like they didn't fucking freak out and have this fucking meltdown. Yeah. And then it showed the other side, which was like the man who took all of that fucking negative energy into himself and became like the old crazy man who was at the start of the show. And then like the cop. I'm sure there's like a fucking deeper meaning behind like the fucking being the guard still of his dead wife. Oh yeah. But it's just like it's sad. It's fucking also like somehow heartwarming. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's so good.
Also, please give the fucking Berserk Man more work. For the love of God.
That OP, we never skipped it, and we never don't skip OPs. Yeah. We never skip the OP because it's just so hyped. The lyrics are very evocative and beautiful, and like, oh my god. And it's just a bang. We went to a play today, and while we were driving to the play, we were just blasting. It was fucking awesome. Like, fuck, I love that shit.
Yep.
Oh, so it's a banger. But from what I remember, Paprika, I don't remember connecting with it very much when I watched it 10 years ago.
But I don't know. Maybe having been attuned to what Kon's on, maybe it'll hit now.
Even if it's like a 50, I'm still like so happy with what's happened.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, I think I already mentioned, but after Millennium Actress, I was just like, I'm checked out. This is gonna be awful.
Yeah.
But I think this kind of just shows me that I'm sure there are people who've made nothing but fucking garbage, direct fodder, if you will.
Yeah.
But like, the people that I hated the most have made things that are really good. Like, I think if they're able to make something you hate, then they're also able to make something you love.
That's probably true. That's the thing. Like, if there was some movie you're just watching, like, I don't fucking care. I don't think if you watch that person's whole filmography that you would hit. But if you watch, that's why I like doing Bad or Based, because it's like, Belle, I was like, I hate this fucking movie, and so there must be something, and then I found some of my favorite anime films ever, and now it's happening again with Satoshi Kon, and it happened with Stanley Kubrick too with me, where I was like, I fucking hated 2001, and then now I just recently watched Doctor Strangelove, and I'm like, this is one of the goats, this is one of the fucking best things I've ever seen. So yeah, that's the Bad or Based ethos. Which is weird. If we went on such a tangent here, it feels like we're wrapping up. We still have two more things. Paprika and Good Morning, which is part of Annie Curry 15. So.
Oh yeah. And this time we won't have a fucking 30-minute talk on the way to the airport at the end of it.
We still could. We still could, but yeah, maybe not. But yeah, stay tuned.
Do you like this footage with no fucking audio? That's awesome. We just recorded Paprika today. Well, we just watched Good Morning, but
yeah,
when we looked at the shit, the Paprika footage had no audio.
Yeah, for both the intro and outro. Luckily, everything previous to that had audio. So that's good, but we just lost our Paprika intro and outro. The main points I talked about with the intro Paprika was that it was his most expensive thing, and it was something that he wanted to make after Perfect Blue, but then the company that funded Perfect Blue went bankrupt, so then he had to wait to make it until after Paranoia Agent. And then...
We both talked about how we liked it somewhat, and it was very thought-provoking. We related it to how kind of the way that dreams were depicted were better than something like Inception, and then we talked about like the through lines with his other films.
Yeah, and how the ending is pretty affecting, and I just love the detective's backstory about filmmaking, stuff like that, and it reminded me of it's actually a new point. It reminds me of episode 10 or so of Paranoia Agent, where it's about like the production of the anime. I like when he works in like weird little facts about like cinephilia and animation production, kind of like what I like when Fujimoto does similar things of just like working in this the machinations of culture into something, and the way that Paprika functions as a weird reflection of dreams and film and stuff is interesting. Usually I kind of scoff people talk about that stuff because usually it's just a way to disguise emotional emptiness, like I thought Millennium Actress was doing. And I still believe Millennium Actress does, but Paprika does it in a way that feels much more deeply felt and much more creative. Like there's just 1,000 more ideas, more specific ideas. It strikes the specificity of how dreams feel, and I think that's way better than just the kind of broad, film stuff that Millennium Actress does, which I find kind of insufferable.
Yeah. Well, we had like a 12-minute diatribe about Paprika, but I really can't get back into that headspace, so I'm trying to think of like a good note for Paprika. When we were watching Paprika, I was like, this is a good last thing for him to have done. Yeah. I was like, it feels very much like kind of the culmination of what he wanted to do, just done better than his earlier work. Yeah, but I don't think it's quite as good as Paranoia Agent or Tokyo Godfathers, because the characters just don't get as fleshed out. Like, when we talk about the multiple personality thing, which is done interestingly in Paprika in a cool way, but I still don't feel for her character the way I do the character in Paranoia Agent that has the multiple personality thing. Yeah. But I still think it's better executed than Perfect Blue, when that stuff just kind of becomes like these ways of just telling you themes and distancing effects from the main character that I don't think is super effective. It's no Paranoia Agent. I'm just happy that he was able to get to a part where he was able to execute the things he wanted to execute, at least somewhat competently. Yeah. And not like some sort of fucking weird, deranged madman. Yeah. No, it's so much better. What he learned about character writing clearly comes through there. Thank you, whatever that person's name was. Yeah, Keiko Namamoto, or whatever. I hope that's her name is. She's great. But yeah, she wasn't involved with Paprika. But Paprika's just a cool, interesting, weird movie. Oh yeah, something I was emphasized before is how fucking weird it is. Like, in terms of just like splaying out all these strange, contradictory, fucked up thoughts.
and just like blah, and it's like, but that's cool. I hope more people can do that on that canvas, like on that big of like a blockbuster multi-million-dollar anime movie thing, because it is cool and inspiring. And even though Satoshi Kon isn't like the guy for me because I don't relate to a lot of his approaches to things, I think it was cool that he got to do something like that, especially like, you know, with Paranoia Agent, and that it's just cool that he was just like the guy working with his giant canvas.
From everything that we watched about him, because we also watched Good Morning now. And
Yes,
like
with the Annie Curry 15.
It makes me think of one thing, and it's that I really wish that he would have been able to do another TV show.
Yeah.
Because it feels like, well, where he's not the episode director, obviously.
Yeah.
I still imagine he had something to do with like how it kept changing into like different, like you mentioned before with the anime production team.
Yeah.
And then like how there was like the Clips episode and stuff like that, and it
Yeah.
still all managed to kind of have that same through line.
Yeah.
And it felt really good, and I wish
Yeah.
that he was able to do something else like that.
Yes. No, yeah. I mean, I think another show like would have been great for him. So I think he is a better show director than he is a movie director, like just in himself. Even though I think Tokyo Godfathers is my favorite thing of his, but that's because of his collaborations. I think with him himself, I think Paprika would have been better as a show in terms of just like blowing that stuff out. I mean, Paranoia Agent I think is like the best thing as a reflection of him. And so then with Good Morning and this Annie Curry thing, I think it's just a sweet. Like, again, he has two kind of beautiful little grace notes, which is like the very end of Paprika, and then this Good Morning thing, it's just a sweet little thing that, it's just nice that he could kind of end there.
And it almost feels kind of cathartic.
Yeah.
Because, like, it ends very similar to the way, like, it felt like perfect, like, not felt like Perfect Blue, but, like, the room was clearly inspired by, like, that room that he had built in Perfect Blue, which was the first major thing that he had done.
Yeah.
And it just kind of feels really cool that that's what got to end it, and it was... Again, it was a minute long, so it's like, you don't know what kind of problems it would have had if he was like, this is a full story, but it's not a full story, so...
Yeah.
But it just felt very nice, and actually kind of made me sad at the same time. I was like, because I thought at first the woman was a ghost.
Yeah.
Because she's like weirdly hovering and translucent, and then you just realize it's like all of these days playing out over and over again the same exact way. She gets up, gets the drink of OJ, goes, brushes her teeth. Yeah. And it's just... It's nice. It was like a really sweet and sad thing to end on in 60 seconds, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, and also, like, probably, I would say the best short of the whole bunch, because the other ones are just, it's so abrasive. Annie Curry 15 is, like, one of the most, like, like, fucking just insane experiences, and some of them are just, like, really weird and stuff.
Oshi.
Oshi's was fucking awesome. Oshi's
that was the fish, right?
Yeah, that was the fish one. That was fucking just a weird, that's classic fucking Oshi just being a fucking freako. But like Satoshi Kon again, like it has that kind of resonance. And the fact that she ends it by saying good morning is kind of like, I kind of find it beautiful because it feels like a much more earned up ending than Perfect Blue in a weird way. Because again, you could see it as like the drudgery of her life, but she's okay with that. This is just how she exists, and that's I don't know. Like it's hard to get super deep about such a short, but it does end on an up. It's not just like, oh look at this shit, man, fuck this. It's like, you know, this is the specificity of someone's experience, and they're okay with that, and that's kind of beautiful.
It almost feels like in like a 1 minute short, he manages to tell a story about somebody pulling themselves out of that fucking depressive thought. Which is just like, that's really impressive, and I wish 1 minute of Perfect Blue did that for me.
Yeah, it's true, and like, because again, like Perfect, like I don't know, I feel glad that by the end, Oshi was able to end up writing female characters, both in like Tokyo Godfathers and Paranoia Agent, and to an extent Paprika, although I don't think it's as well executed there. You can actually start to write female characters in more interesting ways than Millennium Actress or Perfect Blue, where they're just kind of being played around with in a way that just kind of feels fucked up to me. Like in Millennium Actress, like this woman, literally her whole life, her whole profession doesn't matter to her, just this one dude she saw one time. And it's like, that's shitty. That's a shitty way to write a female character. It's a shitty way to write any character. And also, like, the man in the movie is similarly just kind of like, oh, that's it? Like, that's it? That's all we're doing? So that's why it's cool that he was able to grow and become a much cooler guy. In the end of the day, like this was the first true bad to based journey.
I was just gonna say, like, originally we weren't supposed to do Satoshi Kon. We were gonna do
Makoto Shinkai.
Because
I like him more.
And I'm actually gonna say it.
Yeah.
I'm very happy we did Satoshi Kon.
100%,
And
absolutely.
When we did Mamoru Hosoda, I think I like a lot of Mamoru Hosoda's things a lot better. Like
Definitely.
overall, I like Mamoru Hosoda
I think
more.
I just vibe with it
I
better,
enjoyed this batter based more.
Yeah.
Because that was like actually a fucking like
Progression.
clear journey where it's
Yeah.
like you just get to see this guy who made something really cool and unique at the very beginning
Yeah.
in World Apart and Horror.
Well, I mean, and he
he
didn't
didn't
really.
make it, and he disowns it.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh fuck, it's all gonna
Mhm.
suck.
Yeah.
And then it's like shitty, and then you hit fucking Millennium Actress, and I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah.
And then you just see this like fucking snap
Yeah.
where it's like all of a sudden he has a banger
Yeah.
with Tokyo Godfathers, and
Yeah.
then another banger with Paranoia Agent. And while it's not quite a banger with Paprika, it is still like a continuation of this growth.
Yeah.
Where it's like you can have these slip ups,
Yeah.
and it still feels like a really good product in
Yeah.
comparison to his earlier things.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to see.
Yeah, no, it's just cool. It just shows. That's something like Matt Johnson said in an interview recently. Like, his favorite thing about film school is that it forces you to make the shittiest things you've made in your entire life, so then you can get that out of your system and realize what your strengths are, and then move forward. And it feels like Satoshi Kon used his early films almost as his film school, and which is funny because those are his most acclaimed films for some reason to. But and then he was able to grow from that in ways that it's like, whoa, you actually just fucking put yourself out there. So that's exciting. And we touched on that in our Paranoia Agent talk. But yeah, at the end of the day, Satoshi Kon ended up being a way realer one than we ever expected, and truly R.I.P. Although, man, that lecture series, man, you got some thinking to do for that. Well, you can't now, but I mean, that's, you know.
Yeah, don't ever talk to a woman and make her uncomfortable and go, whoops, my bad, that was sexual harassment 3 times in a row. That's not the plan.
And stop rewinding the fucking rape scene from your movie while she's sitting there. It's just not good. It's just not good. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. But at least he said he regretted it. At least he said
he regretted doing that?
He said no. He didn't say he regretted doing that because he did it. But he said he regretted making the rape scene as long and graphic as it did, as he should. And that's a fucked up thing to do. Yeah, Satoshi Kon.
Based.
Good morning, Satoshi Kon. I guess based at the end of the day. Do you want to give our final rankings for his stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to start or?
Yeah, number 1 for me, it kind of feels like a cop-out because it's a different format,
Yeah.
but it is going to be Paranoia Agent.
That's fair.
You? Tokyo.
For me, it's Tokyo Godfathers still, just because I love basically everything in that movie. And the Paranoia Agent is just this amazing, sprawling thing, but there were episodes that had me less than other ones and stuff, and it just doesn't. I can see myself rewatch Tokyo Godfathers. Paranoia Agent is just like, that's a lot to go back to, but it is fucking
it's
awesome.
hard. But yeah, I might rewatch specific episodes of Paranoia Agent, but then for me too is Tokyo Godfathers, and I assume for you it's the
Paranoia Agent.
Yeah, so we'll skip that.
Yeah.
Because number 3 for me, I think, is where we're going to diverge a little bit.
Yeah.
It's Paprika. I'm like, I really liked Paprika.
Well, that would be mine. I did put Good Morning there just because it is just very touching and cool, but like it's hard to say with a 1 minute short.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would say then third. Actually, I agree. It's Paprika for me too because again, like because just to put World Apartment Horror there, and I like World Apartment Horror, but I did have some pretty significant problems with some of his writing and stuff like that, and like it does feel a little simple. Whereas Paprika is just like, whoa, like only he could do this, and it's like this weird fucking cool thing.
Yep.
And then, the next for me was World Apartment Horror. That's number 4.
I'm gonna say just excluding Memories, because Memories would be somewhere like right around here. Or not Memories, sorry.
Magnetic Rose?
No, not Magnetic Rose. Good Morning.
Oh, Good Morning.
Yeah, no, fucking no.
Yeah.
But and then World Apartment Horror would be my 4th.
Yeah.
Things, because it's just, I think we liked it a lot more in the beginning because that was like the beacon of hope.
Yes.
It's still good. Like I still like a lot of the things about it. It is slow at times.
Yeah.
It suffers from that writing where it's like, what are you talking about? Why are you telling me this?
Yeah.
But it also has like the weird aspects of some of the stuff that I like for him, which is nice. And it has good characters in it too, which is rare.
Yeah. No, and it's like a sweet idea for a movie. Like, it's surprisingly progressive to be like, oh, hey, there's foreigners in Japan, but we can all coexist together, and we have to, rise up against the people that are oppressing us, like shitty fucking landlords or people like that. And that's really striking to have like a black character in a movie that's not just a joke, but like an actual dude is like, well, that's pretty fucking cool. And that's one of Nabamoto's, that was like one of her big things, is that she was kind of known as like the writer in Japan that would include, you know, black and foreign characters in more nuanced ways, and so I think her writing that movie comes through. And also just really fun performances. Like, everyone in that movie just fucking goes for it. And it's like almost too much sometimes.
The seance scene gets a little bit like kind of fucking, you're like, is this okay?
Yeah, it gets out there. But I don't know, it's still a cool ride. And that opening, that first 5 minutes, I saw someone like shit on like the first few minutes of the movie where it does these like montage of like all these like international restaurants in Japan and stuff with this like verite style. That's fucking awesome. Some guy was like, oh, just fucking skip the first few minutes. It's like, why? What is so cool? Like, what are you talking about?
I remember thinking about like the first couple minutes after we talked about that.
Yeah.
A lot of the first like sections of his movies and his show.
Oh yeah.
I really liked. Like, it was just kind of like this cool.
Well, you think the
unattached
JoJo thing, right?
Yeah, JoJo thing. That I don't. Perfect Blues is whatever. It's the Power Rangers thing.
Oh yeah, I don't like that.
Millennium Actress was the first 5 minutes were my favorite part.
Oh yeah, that was when she's in the spaceship, right? And then it was the earthquake scene. But yeah, that was kind of cool.
That made me like think the movie was gonna be better than it was, and then Paprika, I don't remember the first time, even though we just watched it this morning.
Paprika.
It was with the detective in a dream.
Yeah,
and I really liked that part.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then Paranoia Agent. That's what I was thinking of. It was just like everyone answering their phone, whatever it is. TV show, different format.
Yeah.
But,
and the OP.
Yeah.
The OP.
The OP. If you count the OP.
Oh.
But I just want to say, before we do our last three, because there are three left and we both have the same, I'm just going to draw a big fucking line.
Yeah.
Because while there was redeeming qualities of everything else on this list, and while I gave one of the things that we're about to mention a 3, it is because it is fucking hilarious to me in the things that it does so bad.
Yeah.
And these last 3 are in a much different
also,
caliber.
I guess just to say, the JoJo episode he directed, I would put it above this.
Yes.
But it's not really him. It's like, you know, an animation exercise, but there's beautiful stuff in that. Like, again, when Kikyoin hits the water tower and stuff, it's like, oh shit, you're actually fucking cook. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm just gonna double check the recording. Okay, we are. We're still good. We're not losing more footage today.
Now, JoJo, line.
Yeah,
there's now a line below JoJo. Yeah. And unfortunately, while these did not take up the majority of the runtime,
they felt
way longer than everything else combined.
Yeah.
I remember Magnetic Rose specifically, which I think is Magnetic.
Yeah, that's Magnetic Rose from Memories. Yeah.
It is by far my least favorite of the 3.
Yeah, no, that's my favorite of the 3 in the sense of that I like the first half of it a good amount when they're in the spaceship
you say
and
that
they go to the thing.
but that's like they're talking to each other and like riffing in the spaceship.
Well,
for like 10
but
minutes.
I even think them exploring the house and stuff like that. That's a cool visual. The spaceship guys in the thing, it's cool. But like by the end, I'm just like. Like it does make me feel gross because again it's him taking these characters traumatized by things, and a theme that shows up in his later work, people being consumed by thoughts of the past and memories and by like, you know, past love and failure and stuff, and they're not being able to move past that, which is shitty, like, and that sucks. But like to not have empathy and just portray the opera woman as like this villain, like this robo villain, and then portray the main guy as like not able to escape this thing, it's like like it's just it feels so like compared to Paranoia Agent, which has this like kind of like you can rise above it, like especially with the wife character and stuff in that, to not give that at all in Memories, I'm just like it's gross, and then it does get very boring by the end.
See, a lot of the differences that we feel is like you feel like kind of not to say the evil meme, but like he does a terrible job of like but showing these emotions that these people have and giving like concrete reasons for them. Yeah. For me, that Magnetic Rose is the one where I feel that. Yeah. Because I'm like, why is this? What's happening here with like the woman that's just so like grief filled that she's basically killing everything around her. And it just when we were watching that, it was 40 minutes. Yeah. And that is by far, it felt longer than all of Paranoia Agent for me. I could not sit through 40 minutes of that. Yeah. And I mean, we did, but there was just something, and a lot of the things that were in that, like you were mentioning, kind of show back up in Paranoia Agent, but are done to like an astronomically better degree. Yeah. Where it's like these characters have reason for what's happening, and you kind of get a glimpse into their grief more than, oh, they're just grief-stricken because of that.
Yeah.
And the thing that pisses me off the most about Magnetic Rose is when they're like, you killed your husband. And that just, like, any kind of semblance of, like, you might feel for this character who's sad because her husband is gone.
Yeah.
Is gone.
Yeah,
You ruined the only thing that might have saved them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah, no, I mean that's true, and it's just it's that's bad vibes. Like I mean, yeah, but then for me, like next level down for me is Millennium Actress because it's just so long. It doesn't. It keeps spinning really generic ways of these very basic character motivations that I don't find very intriguing or specific or felt, and it just goes on and on. And I'm just like. For me, that felt like the longest one. Out of all the things, Millennium Actress felt the longest.
For me, specific, like, because we're opposite here. You like Magnetic Rose the most. I like Millennium Actress the most of these three.
Yeah.
Just because I saw the ideas, and he did them very poorly, but for the first, 10, 20 minutes of that movie, I was kind of for it, and I was like, this can actually turn out really well.
I felt that too, yeah.
And then he just kept... He hit it with the perfect blue disorder of where you're getting bombarded with this imagery that's like, what's this, what's going on, and then it never really actually takes the time to show you and explain the reasoning behind any of the things that are actually happening.
Yeah. Well, not even to explain it, just to create anything else. Like they're you could analyze Millennium Actress, but you aren't going to get more depth to these characters because what we're shown and what he keeps spinning are the most basic plot elements of she meets a dude. And then is obsessed with him and then looks for him. Yeah. And that's really it. And then the other dude, it's like the camera guy, it's like, oh, he was obsessed with her and then he saved her life and then he never went in. And it's like, you could solve all these characters so easily.
One
it's
sentence.
Literally one sentence. It's like, what is more here? Like, there's nothing else.
I really thought, at the halfway point through that movie, she was gonna find the man.
Yeah.
And, kind of realize that she wasted this time.
Yeah.
And try to move on from it, because I was like, I'm so used to storytelling, I guess.
Yes, yeah.
But there was no story. It was just, she was a one-note character who's obsessed with this man and then died sad because, or I guess she died happy, but, why?
Yeah, no,
her character had nothing to it.
Yeah. And it just felt like
you'll never know what was part of the movie and what was part of the real world half the time because it doesn't have these actual.
Well, because her movies don't matter.
Yeah, it's just there's no distinguishing between them because they're all it feels flat.
Yes, and that's a cool idea to make someone's work and their life intertwine, which I think Satoshi Kon himself is great at because, again, at the end of Paprika and stuff, you see the way his films and his own perception of himself and all that stuff kind of mix together, and that's interesting. But in Millennium Actress, we get no insight into the actress as a creative person or what these films even are, and so you just get generic movie imagery as a reflection of the most basic tragic love story. And it's like, that's not substantive. That's nothing. I don't want to watch that for 2 hours, an hour and a half, or whatever.
Yeah, and like you were saying, he just does it way better in Paprika and even in fucking Paranoid Agent.
Yes.
And the man, you get to see into their backstory and they relive that.
Yes.
In a way that doesn't even handhold you, which is amazing for Satoshi Kon at the time, I thought.
Yeah.
And it just feels like you're actually learning by watching the movie or the show the way you're supposed to.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And then there's one thing left.
Yeah.
The thing that arguably is the reason we did it.
Yes, no, definitely is the reason we did it, and it's Perfect Blue, one of the most acclaimed anime movies ever. A film I think is kind of fucking evil and gross, and it's tough because it's tough to rank because it's weird to say, I enjoy watching Perfect Blue. I find it a more watchable, visual, exciting experience than Millennium Actress, but I find the ideas contained therein so rancid, and the way that this main girl, which the specificity of her life actually in the first half is better expressed than in Millennium Actress or Magnetic Rose, but then what happens to her and the way the movie keeps obfuscating all these things and then just demonizes these characters around her, it just feels really gross. And so by the end, you aren't with this character. It reminds me of, because I compared it to opening night in my Letterboxd review, and there's a quote in opening night where Gina Rollins is like, I don't understand the woman in this play. Does she win or does she lose? And it's like, in this Perfect Blue, you don't know whether she wins or loses. And you're like, and it feels, the overarching feel I feel is that she fucking lost, and it's just insane now and fucked up. But yet Satoshi Kon in the lecture series says that, like, oh, she was able to move past this. But I don't feel that the movie makes a convincing argument for that at all. And especially if she can move on because she saw the woman that she trusted go insane, try and kill her, and now is entirely delusional in a mental hospital, that's not a W, that's a huge L, that's fucked up.
Like, the last minute of the movie for me, because again, Perfect Blue's right smack dab in the middle of these three for me, because I still enjoyed watching it, like you said.
Yeah.
But there's just so much horrible shit done in that last minute for me.
Yeah.
That it's unbearable.
Yeah.
And that's the one part of the movie that I find truly unbearable, other than like the rape.
Yeah.
S, plural.
Yeah.
And it's the fact that she like looks at this person that she was super close to, and an undiscriminate, like an undescript amount of time has passed. You have no idea how much time has passed since the end of that movie, but it makes it seem like maybe a year, maybe 6 months. And she sees this woman who still clearly thinks that she's the real Mima or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
And then she goes she talks to the doctor, says whatever the fuck she says, and she goes out to her car and she's smiling.
Yeah.
And like, fucking, I'm chipper. And then she looks in the mirror, and the very last part of the movie is she goes, I'm the real me, and then it just cuts.
Yeah,
and you're done.
Oh,
and you're
so
like,
fucked.
that was never up for debate. Mima is not Mima, Rena or whatever her name is, was not you. Like, and you've created this character who you could have actually made redeemable, because things happen to her that make you feel for her, and she is a good character at times in this movie, and you turn her into this soulless hog, and like, and you just feel that in that last second. You're like, why did I spend this time with you? And then he goes on and says she's redeemed, she's moved on past it. But it feels like the opposite. It feels like that corrupted her. Which is almost cool if it wasn't just so mind-numbing the way it's done.
Well, and it's just, if the movie is clearly trying to approach the notion of the way that society depicts women in these professions and stuff is fucked up, and this competition is made so someone like Rumi can just never be successful because she doesn't fit conventional beauty standards, all that stuff, and so of course she's going to be jealous of Mima and want what she has and stuff, and that's a fine emotion to explore, but to make it so that like this character is just shown as like the underarching villain that actually planned this whole downfall, that's not her fault. It's not her fault that society is like this. It's these social standards that we culturally have upheld and stuff. That's the fucked up part, and that's what we need to focus on. To demonize someone like Rumi, or to make the obsessive dude, like Mr. Me-Mania, this fucking just like literal reptilian creature, that's pretending like they're the problems. That's pretending that they're these dehumanized, fucked up people are what is the cause and not just the symptom. And it's like I don't feel like the movie is making a convincing argument that it's this because it's this systemic thing, because you could portray that in so many better ways than just throwing in these villains and then having it end on that note. Like, it just feels so sick and fucked up, and so that's why I just really that's why it's my bottom one, and it's one of my least favorite movies, because it's that second half is just so fucking gross to me in the way that it is a dehumanizing thing.
Mystery Mania is my last point. Didn't even need to be in that movie. The more I think about it, he's a stand-in for like stan culture, I think. Which I guess wasn't even called that. Just like obnoxious fandom, toxic fandom. But the way that they play off of him, and the way that they just kind of dispose of him without ever really giving it any, like, unceremoniously, I guess, it just feels weird, because they built him up in this movie. He runs her over.
It's really one of the funniest shots, him driving that
truck.
truck.
He rapes her. And then they just... You never see him again. Like, you see his corpse on the ground for a split second.
It would have been so much more interesting and so much more meaningful if instead his role was by one of the guys in that group that keep commenting throughout
Yep.
the movie. Because then it's not just this inhuman fucking like literal like eyes glazed over fucking reptilian dude. It's just a dude who looks like a normal dude who is accepted into culture, which shows that it's the culture's fault. But yet he also creates this site that's weird and parasocial and fucked up, and it has this one-sided relationship with her that she does not consent to.
Yeah.
And that's the fucked up thing.
He didn't even create the site, which is annoying too.
Well, yes, because it's all roomy at the end of the day, which is even more fucked up because then, like, it's now on just this weird obsessive person who her reasons for being obsessive are interesting, worthy of exploration, but to dehumanize her and then, you know, like, make her, you know, wear the dress and all this stuff and all these fucked up things, it's just, like, I don't like that. I don't like that movie. And then again, the lecture series, which I was really hoping to hear him out, all he talks about is his weird, stupid, abstract symbols that don't meaningfully contribute to the emotions of the film to me. And then, I mean, shit like him talking about, like, just the practical things of putting rape scenes in the movie to make it scandalous. And it's like, you just admitted that. Like, that's a really heavy thing to put into a movie. And you're just admitting that you threw it in because of marketing. And it's like, no, like, maybe he misspoke there. I feel like I hinge a lot on that specific statement, and maybe he was just making a joke or something like that. But
it doesn't feel like it when you watch that interview.
It doesn't feel like it because none of his other justifications are driven by the emotions or the tangible ideas of societal or cultural fucking exploration that I feel like the movie should be aiming for. Instead, it's all very like English language arts, like it symbolized that she has an objective view because she looks through a window. I focus on that one a lot. Or there's 1,000 other things like having power ranges, mirrors, but like all these just symbols that are not speaking to tangible emotional states or cultural things. And it's like, nah.
And he gets better at using like symbolism later on.
So much better, yeah.
It's just like, it feels so weird because I don't even know how somebody can grow like that.
Exactly. Well, because you think about Little Slugger in Paranoia Agent.
The bat versus the window is a crazy fucking...
Yeah, because now Little Slugger is not this abstract idea. I mean, it is kind of abstract, but it's an emotional abstraction where he represents this kind of self-loathing and like desire for freedom when being cornered in this kind of with these societal expectations and stuff. And that's a really the way Paranoia Agent explores those things is so felt, specific, and tied to these characters' circumstances in a way that's really sensitive. And it's like, that's awesome, and that's how you tackle societal commentary compared to Perfect Blue, which I think does a very poor job of it comparatively.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, hell yeah, Satoshi Kon. At the end of the day, and that's where you comparatively get some like Good Morning, which is just this woman's little day-to-day experience and how our perception is playing off her perception of it, but she can move forward. She can keep going, just like all the best characters and stuff, like the wife in Paranoia Agent, or even like the detective in Paprika, who, you know, at the end of the day, he was able to go back to the fucking movie theater because that is what he liked, and he felt he has different connotations to him. It fucked him up, but he was able to move forward and continue growing as a person by.
A lot of the detective characters in these things kind of felt like a self-insert almost
Totally.
for him.
Totally.
And I fucking loved both of the last two so much.
Yes, because then, now, that's the key. That's the key to it. I don't see Satoshi Kon in Perfect Blue or Millennium Actress or Magnetic Rose. I feel like he has put a window, even if you will, between himself and these characters. But then after Tokyo Godfathers, literally after Tokyo Godfathers, when you think about it, that was the first movie where he did the reference footage for Hana, because he finally was able to put himself in a movie. And then after that, you have the detective characters in Paranoia Agent and Paprika, who are him, like literally, are clearly reflect so many different aspects of himself. And the movies it shows for itself. The movies are way fucking better because he's
relating to his own work.
He's relating to his own work, which allows us in. Yeah. Because it's hard enough to relate to a work of art by someone else, because the whole point of work of art is finding ways to translate your experience in a way that is understandable. But when the creator himself doesn't relate to his own characters, you're fucked from the get-go. You're not going to be able to get there. That's so hard, you know?
You're making a movie for somebody that doesn't exist.
Yes, basically.
But then it turns out a lot of them do exist, and I don't know how. But
I guess so. I don't know. That's not for me to determine. Whatever people get out of Purple Bloom and an Actress, that's their own journey that they can have.
Yeah.
But I just know that I don't get much from it, and I was trying to interrogate why, and I think this narrative of his own maturation as a writer makes a lot of sense to me, now that we've literally seen however many hours of his stuff, like 20 some hours or something, over the course of this week, and
It's honestly,
cool.
it was great. I
It was so
enjoyed it in
cool.
the end. Because, like, where all the shitty stuff was kind of front loaded,
Yeah.
it felt really good.
dude, like, that's the thing, like, I mean, watching Tokyo Godfather was, like, euphoric.
Yep.
And it's funny, this happens every time we do a marathon. Like, when we marathon every epic rap battle of history, I remember the Ninth Peter versus Epic Lloyd felt like a fucking, like, ray of light. I was like, oh my god. And that's also them putting themselves in their art, if you think about it.
I guess so. There's the secret.
There is the secret. And so with this, like, Tokyo Godfather, I was like, oh my god, the Paranoia Agent was just, I was so excited for each episode of Paranoia Agent. So I was just like, and the structure of Paranoia Agent was just like, what's going to be in store? Because you have no idea, and that's so exciting. And you know, in a way, watching Paprika felt similar, where I was just like, what the and I'd seen it before, like 10 years ago, and I got nothing out of it. And I feel like I would not get much out of Paprika if I hadn't just watched all this shit, because now I understand his pet interest, where he's coming from, and so now I'm like, whoa, like, this is actually like a really cumulative thing. And so then each scene of Paprika, I'm like, what's he gonna do next? Because Paprika is structured to be so fucking like all over the place. And so
I thought the movie was over like 3 different times before it ended.
It's true, but I mean,
when it's at the end on the fucking thing,
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
this is a good spot to end. It keeps going.
yeah, it does keep going, but in a way that's cool, and
Yeah.
I think each extension of itself works to better it. But yeah, R.I.P. Satoshi Kon. Yeah, I'm sorry for doubting you for years and trash talking to everyone I fucking knew. You're a true auteur, and thanks for the movies.